4 days into the sequester, and with the stalemate continuing in the coming weeks and months, we'll start to feel the effects of those across-the-board automatic spending cuts. $85 billion gone from the budget. The cuts could affect your child's school, your wait in line at the security line at the airport, and tens of thousands of government workers will face furlough days. This morning, we're joined by Oregon Representative Suzanne Bonamici live from Washington, D.C. Congresswoman, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be with you.
You estimated that about 12,000 Oregon workers could face job furloughs in this sequester situation. So why should they be the victims in Congress's essentially self-made problem?
Well, they shouldn't be, and that's one of the reasons why I've been working hard and will continue to work hard to find better alternatives than these across-the-board cuts. My office in Oregon is already hearing from some federal employees who are getting furlough notices, people like our prison guards. That really concerns me. They shouldn't be bearing the brunt of all of these cuts. We need to be working together to find a better solution.
Now, over the weekends, many lawmakers decided to head out of town, yourself included, yet beforehand you issued a statement saying that you felt that lawmakers should be working through the weekend to go ahead and try and reach a compromise, try and reach some sort of a deal. Why did everybody flee Washington, D.C.? What is being done? It doesn't feel like things are happening there.
Well, that's a great question, and I did issue this statement. I thought we should have stayed here to keep working to try to find a solution to those cuts. But the Speaker and the Majority Leader set the schedule, and so when no one else was going to be here to work with, I went back to my district and worked back there. But I have to say we're back here now. We got back yesterday evening, and I'm supporting a bill that will get rid of the sequester. I've supported alternatives to the sequester, and you mentioned in your introduction that people in Oregon are going to start feeling this. I'm very concerned about things like cuts to education and Head Start or Title I for low-income schools. Those cuts are really going to hurt our community, so I'll continue working with all of my colleagues to find better ways that we can address the spending. And I want to say we have already made a significant amount of spending cuts. Those are going into effect through the Budget Control Act, and that's more than $2 trillion already that we've cut. We need to find solutions that don't result in so many people losing their jobs, including, I might say, many of our veterans. This is not a good or fair way to make cuts, so we'll keep working away here in Washington.
I think all of us watching this situation can relate to one word. That's the word compromise. So what are you willing to compromise on to get this deal done? What are you willing personally as our lawmaker to compromise on?
Thank you. Thank you for asking that. There are a lot of places where we can cut. And I made a lot of compromises when I signed on to the fiscal cliff bill that passed in January. I'm willing to make compromises in a lot of places. For example, there's some smart cuts that we can make in our defense budget. But we shouldn't be cutting things like cybersecurity and intelligence and services for our veterans. So let's look at the military budget and find out how we don't hurt the veterans and the civilian employees, but make smart cuts in that area. I'm willing to make a lot of cuts in areas like agriculture subsidies, where we're using taxpayer dollars to subsidize successful companies. There's a lot of things that we can do to address spending. We can't make these across-the-board cuts. We can't let them stay in effect. We're going to be working hard to make sure that we find better solutions because too many jobs are at stake.
Representative Suzanne Bonamici, we certainly appreciate the time for you to speak with us this morning. We could continue for quite a while, but unfortunately due to time constraints, we have to let you go. We do appreciate it. We apologize for the bad signal every once in a while, but we're at the mercy of technology at times. Congresswoman, thank you very much.
That's right. Thank you for having me on, and I encourage people to contact my office with their ideas. Thanks again for having me on.
Thank you.